Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of Teens Biz Talk podcast. We are so excited to be able to talk with our guest today for all the wonderful things that he has coming up. Woo, woo, woo. This is so exciting, so exciting. But before we get started, if this is your first time tuning in to us, just to let you know, Teens Biz Talk podcast is all about talking to other teen entrepreneurs about their business, why did they get started, how do they do what they do, and for them to share any tips and pitfalls to avoid, right, to upcoming teenage entrepreneurs. Also, from time to time, we will have business professionals come on to give advice, right? Things about hiring people. What are some good standard operating procedures to have? How should you be in sales? Those type of things. So those are the type of things that you can be expecting from us here at Teens Biz Talk Podcast. This episode is being sponsored by Bateman Empowering Educators. At Bateman Empowering Educators, we take away the trial and error method of your teenager learning about money and replace it with a practical blueprint to equip them to create a 5-star financial future. So be sure to check below for the link to find out what types of courses and programs we offer to help you with that. Okay, so now here we go. We are so excited today to have with us Devin Moore. Devin is a founder, he is an author, he is a teenage entrepreneur, and an activist. Welcome, Devin.
Hi, Tara. Thank you for having me.
Sure. It is our pleasure to have you here. So I just listed off, right, a litany of things that you were involved in. Before we start delving into each one in particular, can you just tell us a little bit more just about Devin?
Oh, yeah, sure. So I am 18 years old. I'm from Long Island, New York, but I actually am currently a student, a freshman at the University of Maryland, where I'm studying psychology. Um, Also, I like to write a lot of poetry. I really am someone who likes to write a lot. And as we get on more into the interview or the conversation, really, you'll realize that I love public speaking. I love talking about things that I'm very passionate about, and really just helping others in any way that I can.
Awesome. Very good. So, one of the things that we have coming up for you, and I actually just want to jump right into this, is your book that you are about to launch. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? The name of it? Please give our community the launch date so they can be ready to buy.
Yeah, of course. So my first children's anti-bullying book is called Devin Speaks Up. I'm actually wearing the shirt. Once I explain a bit more, I'll get into what was the everything as far as like the cover, the background on that. But so essentially, Devin Speaks Up is about my personal bullying experience. Saying, Devin, your skin color is awful, but your skin color is beautiful, Devin. And it's about being upstanders and the importance of unity and embracing our beautiful differences. And it's about speaking up to someone you trust. We need to speak up. Our voices matter. Everyone's voice matters.
Yeah.
And we need to recognize that. And
Yeah.
especially when a young person is saying, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, with they're going through bullying, we need to listen to it, understand it, and help the youth in their situation. So now, as far as let's get into the cover.
Okay.
I also would like for actually, you know what, before I say this, you guys should just also head over to my website, racetospeakup.com/shop, so that you can just pre-order the book. It'll show up a bit clearer. I think my lighting's a little bit off, but so all these different kids are kids from all different walks of life. So you have a kid with glasses at the bottom, kind of hard to see. You have a disabled kid, Black girl with braids, an Asian girl, kids with vitiligo or different birthmarks, kid with red hair, Hispanic girl, Black boy with dreads. We have Muslim to show different religions. We have an overweight kid. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but we have alopecia. And of course, me in the middle. We have a bunch of different types of kids because I want to show that we really don't all look the same, but that's fine. That's completely okay. That's completely beautiful.
Yeah.
We are unique and diverse human beings. And I think we need to show off our diversity and our beauty through and embrace these differences, embrace your religion, embrace your beautiful skin color, whatever shade you are, wherever you're from, your culture, you embrace your sexuality, your gender, embrace whatever background you're coming from. Embrace your size. We need to embrace these different things because they are what make us unique. They're what make us cool. They're what make us awesome. They're what make us, uniquely ourselves. And I wanted to recognize that because it's not just one type of person. It's all these different types of people. When you go into school, I think it should be diverse. Of course, you need to have your own community to see, people who relate to you. But this world is not just one thing. This world truly is not just one thing. And I want to recognize that. I'm someone who believes heavily in unity. That's why I keep saying the word unity. But I'm someone who believes heavily in the word unity. That's actually, and I'll get more into my organization, but that's one of the meanings behind Race to Speak Up, is that we are all a part of one race, which is the human race. And I wanted to reflect that on the cover. And then within the book, I wanted to give this message of being upstanders and speaking up and knowing that you really shouldn't have to go through bullying, or you shouldn't be going through bullying, excuse me. You shouldn't be going through bullying at all. And also, I want you to understand what bullying looks like. I know when it comes to stories that I've even heard just from other kids that I met or other people my age, even adults too, because bullying can affect you in the long run where you remember the story and anxiety, paranoia, all these different types of trauma can lead into your adulthood. But they've told me that they remember their exact bullying experience. They remember what happened here, how I felt, how it made me feel, or how it hurt me in the long run. And so I want kids to not only understand, but recognize the bullying that they're going through, recognize it in the moment, understand what you should do in order to help yourself or help someone else. Like I said, upstanders, someone who supports the target of bullying. Go and help that other person as long as it's safe. But there's different ways that you can also do that as well. So when it comes to bullying, I want to encourage all to speak up. Like we really, really need to do something to positively change this bullying epidemic. It's an epidemic. I'm just gonna add one more thing on so when it comes to cyberbullying, which I went through cyberbullying. In fact, I'll get more into my story, but when it comes to cyberbullying, I mean, we've had the pandemic, Corona. We've had that, and we've unfortunately, the majority of the world has been going through that. But once that happened, once that started, since we are all online, cyberbullying actually increased. It increased about 70 or over 70%, which that's alarming.
Right.
That's terrifying. Because more and more kids are all online. All these different types of people can use that anonymity factor to feel power, and they take that power, they use that power, and they want to negatively affect, they want to hurt others. But I say no to that. I say we need to stop this bullying in its tracks. We need to stop it now, and we need to help all. We need to come together, and we need to create a positive difference.
Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. And thank you so much for just your passion behind it, right? And taking that stand to be an example to help others see what does need to be done. So I have a follow-up question. One thing that I keep hearing, and also is in the title of your book, Devin Speaks Up. What are some ways that young people can actually speak up, right? I know, well, initially for me, right, when I hear the word speak, it's the talk. And I usually don't have a problem talking, right, or expressing or speaking out against some things. But then there are some young people that are maybe a little more reserved, right, and they don't like to verbally speak. What are some other ways that they can speak up, that they can still be positive, right, and helpful in the movement to stop bullying?
Very good question, because I know that there are a lot of kids or a lot of people who may not want to speak up. But that's why I think that having representation through books or through movies and showing how others speak up, that will encourage you. That's why I know sharing my story can help so many. But as far as like what to actually do, you can actually, like say if you are trying to be an upstander and help someone else who's being bullied, you can report things anonymously, or you can just report on your own to the school or to a parent or to whoever you need to. Or if you're the literal one going through bullying, you can, though you can report anonymously, I think, when it comes to maybe sending an email to a principal or an email to other resources. I mean, not only do we have the school, but we have other resources such as different anti-bullying organizations. I mean, Race to Speak Up. I founded the Race to Speak Up anti-bullying organization. I want you guys to come and speak to me, and so that I can figure out how to help you, or we can figure out how to help you in your bullying situation. So there's a couple of different things that you can do. I know that there's also apps out there like the Bullying Buddy app that helps you report bullying in its tracks. So there's different apps out there. There's like so many different things. You see how I'm going back to the internet? It's because the internet can be very helpful. Though cyberbullying has been a problem, there are the main intended use for the internet is to positively help you. Right. So it's just a lot of people are taking social media or regular text messages or group chats or different types of things to contact people. They're taking that and they're turning it into a negative to hurt people. So just take my advice as far as like reporting it. There's so many different, like literally. So when it comes to, okay, so kind of changing, but still on the topic of anti-bullying, of course. But so when it comes to the Race to Speak Up anti-bullying organization, well, okay, so let's go back to my story because I want everyone to really hear what happened and hear its extent of how painful it was and see what I did when it came to speaking up. Now, keep in mind, I am someone who is very vocal, so please understand that, but still, I still want you guys to understand how important it is to speak up. So when I was in middle school, so it was three of my white classmates who decided to Photoshop my face onto disturbed and racist images. They put my face with a gun to my head. They put my face on a gorilla suit, and they put my face going into a trash can. And yes, that is very traumatizing. I went through anxiety, or I still go through anxiety, actually. I went through paranoia, even some depression. It was just that extreme sadness. Like I went through, there were times I didn't even want to eat. And there were times I didn't even want to go outside. If you take a look at my parents, if you were to ask them, they would say, Devin, you were not eating, you were so sad. We always wanted to just hug you and be there for you. And that's what they did. But it's just like, luckily they were able to be there for me. I know, unfortunately, sometimes not everyone has that. That's why I want everyone to know that there is someone out there that will help you. Like I am out here, or I am here to help you. But as far as my bullying situation, it opened, not only did it pain arise, but I knew I wanted to speak up because I wanted to speak up because I didn't want anyone else to go through this. And because I know that my story should not be put on the back burner. It should not be downplayed. That's why I told my parents. That's why my parents helped me. And then eventually I realized that bullying was happening, unfortunately, all over. I specifically remember, especially in, I think 2020, it was that year. So there was, between 2018 to 2020, I was seeing a lot of bullying on the news. And then of course, once the pandemic hit, that just rose even more, unfortunately. But I specifically remember, and I always remember this whenever I'm talking about my bullying experience, but there was this collage on Instagram of children who died by suicide because of bullying. What? Why are there so many kids? Why is this still continuing to happen?
Right.
How do they know to do this? They have a plan. It shouldn't get to that. It should never get to that. Oftentimes, those who are in a suicidal state do have a plan to kill themselves. You would not believe, I have a podcast of my own. I've spoken to so many, I've not only have I spoken to youth entrepreneurs, but I've spoken to adults who have created their own initiative. But on top of that, they had children who unfortunately died by suicide. They had family members who they're telling me that they had a plan to do this. No, we need to stop that.
Yeah.
We need to stop this now. So I wanted to give background on this because I wanted to really dive deep into why this is such an issue and just really explain to you why the importance of having organizations like Race to Speak Up. You know, through Race to Speak Up, I'm educating youth to be upstanders and empower them to be upstanders and educating them about bullying prevention because it's so important. We need this bullying prevention measures in schools. We need this book in schools. Devin Speaks Up. We need this book everywhere. If you really ask me, we need this book everywhere. You know. So, but yes. Sorry, I kind of went on a little longer.
No, that was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you again, just for your passion to be there for those that are in need. And like you said, there are a lot that are in need. So, following up on that, right? I would imagine that sometimes this work can be a little heavy. And even those that are going through bullying, right, it can be heavy. And even those that are wanting to be there to be upstanders, it can be heavy. What are some things that you might recommend for them to help balance things out, so to speak?
Honestly, I would say promote positivity because that always helps me and I've seen it help others. I've seen things that I've taught to spread positivity. Other people have taken that and they've used that. I remember one time when I was younger, I just had the opportunity to do this. So I taught my class how to do origami, origami. And we created origami cranes, which it represents good luck is what I looked up. But just creating that or like writing on post-it notes, you are beautiful, I am enough, positive affirmations, it always helps. And if an upstander sees that, they'll be happier. If someone who is a target of bullying, they'll see that and it'll let them recognize that they are beautiful human beings that should not be going through this hate, through this discrimination, through this homophobia, through this racism, through like all these different things, through any of these isms, phobias, or ists, they shouldn't be going through the negative. They shouldn't be going through that. So I want to make sure that others know that promoting positivity can definitely help you. It'll help you realize certain things within yourself and it'll be there for you. We can always promote positivity, right? We go online. Oh, and this is something that I like to talk about is the fact that when we go online, we need to combat the negativity with positivity. And of course, if you don't want to I'm using the word combat in air quotes, just basically saying the other side is positivity and we should be on that side. And unfortunately, we see a lot more negative, but we need to use this positivity, use the positive affirmations, the origami cranes, the yoga to make us relax, the stretching, the working out, do things that make you happy and make you feel good in yourself, good in your skin, good in your body, good in your hair, good in the things that you wear, good in your lips, your eyes, all these different things, your cultural background, all these different things. Make yourself feel good. As long as it's positively helping you, of course. I never want to promote any type of negative ways of making yourself feel good. But, if it's going to make you feel good, then I say that we need to do it. Because if it's positively affecting you in a good way, then I think we need to do that. Because when it comes to this bullying epidemic, that's only going to lead towards a negative path. And I know that there are people who have taken that, like me, who have taken that and turned it into a positive, but there still are negative effects. And I mean, I'm one that really can. I know I said it before, but I'm one that really can explain those negative effects. I truly don't want anyone else to go through that. So a good way to combat negativity is with positivity. to sum it all up.
All right. I absolutely, whew, thank you again. So grateful for you taking time to come and talk to us about that. Now, you did mention earlier, you gave the link, and for those that missed it, no worries. It will be down below where you can hop on right away, pre-order Devin's book. Do you also have the t-shirts available? Will you have those available for sale for people to promote in that way? What's going on in terms of anti-bullying?
Great question. Not as of yet, but keep a lookout for that.
Okay.
So like everything, go to racetospeakup.com and just like, you'll see everything under the shop button anyway. But as far as like that, you'll just see the book for now, but keep the shirt in mind. But focus on the book for right now.
All right, definitely.
I'm going and pre-ordering as of right now, or once it releases in October, buying your book. Remember to go and buy that book. Say Devin Speaks Up on social media. Say Devin Speaks Up. Or actually, yeah, follow my Race to Speak Up or follow my at author Devin Moore. Literally, if you look up both those things, this face will come up, or this shirt will come up, or Race to Speak Up will come up. You know, that's what will come up. So by you following, you'll be able to stay updated on everything. But also on top of that, I post positive affirmations because I know that everyone is online, as we all know, but everyone is online. So by seeing that, it helps you in your day. So I post these things to really help others, or I post myself in front of murals, or I post things that relate to national days, National Self-Care Month, or National Self-Improvement Month, Black History Month, Women's History Month, like all these different types of things. I try to go based off of the month because I think by recognizing that, and it helps. It also reminds you that these things are going on. So, but yeah.
Awesome. So was there anything else that you wanted to share that we didn't talk about? I know we covered a lot, but was there anything else that you wanted to share with the community?
I would say, don't be afraid to be you. And so what I mean is, I don't want you to be afraid, or I don't want you to be afraid to embrace your beautiful hair. I don't want you to be afraid of your skin color, or I don't want you to look at your own skin color as a negative, or your religion, or any of these other things that I mentioned. I don't want you to look at that as a negative, because it's a beautiful thing. I know this is said a lot, but there really is only one you. So since there is only one you, be the best you that you can, or that you potentially can be. I mean, we really can do anything. To my fellow teen entrepreneurs or other youth that want to do something positive, go for it. Achieve your goals. It may take time, because I know a lot of these things that I've done took time. I've been wanting to be an author. And that, like, this past summer, I really was focusing on finishing the book, and then to finally release the pre-orders for it. That's just a goal in itself. And to have this book being released in October for National Bullying Prevention Month, that'll be another goal. You know, though these things take time, I want you to know that you can get it done, and you should get it done, and you will get it done, because you are a beautiful and confident and amazing human being. Like, I want you to know that this is your time to shine. So take advantage of the time and race to speak up, you know, do all of that. I want you to take advantage of this time and be your beautiful self.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So everyone who is listening, anything that you feel like you might have missed, I say go back to the beginning, listen through. There was so much that Devin shared, just in terms of things that we can be on the lookout for in very practical ways, that we can be effective, that we can be positive, that we can be helpful, that we can help in this drive to stop bullying and really help those people that are being affected by it. So thank you again, Devin, for taking time to talk with us.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
And if you're listening on any of our any of our podcast audio platforms, please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss upcoming things. If you're watching us on YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe and drop a note below, right? What really stood out to you about this episode? And if there's anything that you want to know from Devin, I'm sure he'd be happy to answer, or, if we need to bring him back as a follow-up, right, to see what else is going on, please let us know below. And so just to close out, as I always do, remember, everything in creation was created with a gift inside of it. That includes you. So go and share your gift with the world. We'll see you next time.